Advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane has been denied entry to the offices of the Public Protector in Pretoria today. It comes after she said around this time last night that she intended to go back to work because she claimed her suspension had lapsed because the inquiry into her fitness told office had wrapped up its work. But President Cyril Ramaphosa says Mkhwebane's interpretation of the legal process has been wrong. Her security detail has since been withdrawn. While she insists that her suspension should not be used as punishment.
You can be suspended as an employee, but even if the process is not complete, because sometimes it says you should finalize within 60 days, you can still come back to the office and do the work whilst the proceedings are still ongoing. So I think I'm here just to say that I'm going back to my home because I am told I'm not under any protection. If anything happens to me, the police won't protect me.
For more on that story, let's bring in the Executive Secretary at the Council for the Advancement of the South African Constitution. That is Lawson Naidoo. Lawson, a very good evening to you. So, Advocate Mkhwebane says that she believes that because the inquiry process has now wrapped up, there's nothing standing in the way of her reporting for duty. But as we've seen today, that was not allowed to happen. Is her interpretation of the law wrong?
Indeed, I'm afraid that once again she has demonstrated her lack of competence in the law, and her interpretation of the correspondence from the president suspending her was quite clearly aimed and intended at enduring for the duration of the process in Parliament, which includes the work of the Section 194 committee that investigated her conduct. It has now made a recommendation to the National Assembly. And until such time as that those processes in the National Assembly have been completed and a decision is taken by the Assembly not to impeach the Public Protector, she's not able to return to work. It's as simple as that.
And that's going to happen next week, where the National Assembly is basically going to vote on her fate and whether she has indeed failed as Public Protector and should be impeached. Do you see any scenario where that vote would fail?
Well, it seems unlikely, given that at least the African National Congress and the Democratic Alliance appear to, certainly at the committee level, have supported the report that's been sent to the National Assembly, which recommends that Busisiwe Mkhwebane be removed from office. So with the support of those two parties, the two-thirds threshold will be reached. And in all likelihood, Busisiwe Mkhwebane will be removed from office. Once that decision is taken by Parliament, of course, it'll have to be communicated to the President as the official appointing authority for the President to effect her dismissal from office.
And the term of Advocate Mkhwebane as Public Protector is due to come to an end in October, so in a few weeks from now. The vote in Parliament happens, or in the National Assembly happens next week. She had already indicated that she feels that the process in Parliament from the hearings has been flawed, basically biased against her, etc. But will any of it matter by the end of October?
Well, it won't by the middle of October, because in any case, her term of office will have come to an end. Parliament or the National Assembly will, on the same day that they consider the Section 194 committee report, will also be voting on a candidate to replace Busisiwe Mkhwebane as the next Public Protector. So she will have vacated office one way or the other, either through dismissal or through the termination of her tenure as Public Protector by the middle of October. I think it's quite clear, she's made it quite clear that she will take that decision of Parliament on review. And of course, she's welcome to do that. And she has, as we know, complained throughout the process that she was treated unfairly. Whereas I think most of us who've observed those proceedings can see that the committee actually bent over backwards to try and accommodate her, giving her extensions of time when legal teams were changed and the like. So I think, while she's in all likelihood going to challenge the decision of Parliament, I don't hold out much hope for her success.
And if indeed next week the National Assembly votes to impeach Advocate Mkhwebane, explain to us, Lawson, just how or what the implications will be for her of that decision, of that vote.
Well, she will have been dismissed from office, prior to the end of her tenure. It will vindicate the complainants in the case. It will vindicate the parliamentary process that investigated the complaint and her conduct in that regard. And I think it will be a victory for accountability, that heads of Chapter 9 institutions are accountable to the National Assembly for their conduct. And this was, an example of the National Assembly exercising that authority. Mm-hmm. So I think it's an important precedent to say that heads of Chapter 9 institutions are accountable, and the National Assembly will stamp its authority when required.
But will the office itself emerge from this period untainted? And what then does the new public protector, who at this point it appears that it may be the acting public protector, Koleka Gcaleka, who's appointed, what would they have to do then to perhaps salvage or help remedy some of the damage suffered by the office, especially in the last, shall we say, year and a half or so?
Well, I think there's been immense damage that has been done to the credibility and respect for the Office of Public Protector in recent times, and probably beyond the last 18 to 24 months, and probably longer. And I think the incoming Public Protector is going to have a significant job on her hands to try and restore public confidence in that office, to get it back, get that office back to its core mandate, which is to act as the buffer between the abuse of public power by civil servants and public officials, and to stand up for the rights of ordinary citizens. That's the primary task of that office, and that confidence in the institution needs to be restored so that people feel confident coming forward and bringing their complaints there, knowing that they will be treated fairly and the complaints will be investigated and they will get some recourse. This is an important office, as we keep stressing, because it is intended to provide access to justice for those who would otherwise not be able to take legal challenges against powerful public officials and the like.
Lawson Naidoo, thank you very much for your time on News at Prime tonight.